how to make this go. Why is not screaming to Facebook? It could do it, but I just haven't figured out. So I may need to go. Okay, let me go. We live here. We live. Okay. All right. So I'll be back. So, hey y'all, what's going on? We back. We back. We are continuing Matthew 23 and 24. We didn't do Monday because Monday was a holiday, well, not Memorial Day. Uh, Rest in peace to all the fallen soldiers who was in the armed forces, I was in the armed forces. So I kind of get it. I understand the sacrifice and what they do to, the training and everything that come with it, the long days, nights, the ups, the downs of it, or whatnot. I understand it. So nothing comes for free, not come for free. And even with this country that we live in and the things that they do, but ultimately, people lost their lives fighting for this country. So I just was a memorial for those guys. So that was why we didn't come back on Monday. I thought about coming back on Monday, but I was like, nah, you know what? We're not gonna do it. So we'll just continue on Thursday. Give people the time to refresh them. I don't know about you, but I wanted to go Monday. I just was reading myself. I was like, man, let me just read that because I don't know if you feeling a little off, you don't do it. So that's at least how I feel about y'all.
Yeah, you do
So,
be off.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, it kind of throw you like, you're trying to get it back. You're like, I need to keep it going. So, but
Yeah.
in moments like that, what you do is you just, it's like, because when you felt, it's like when you with a group of people with that, it's flowing, everyone's studying, everyone's learning, the excitement, you're learning a whole lot. And then when it pauses for a moment, you be like, whoa, whoa, where's that? Where my candy at? Well, on my study time at whatever, my fellowship time. And so that goes to show you that it's healthy, it's healthy and it's something that's needed, when we do these things. Uh, so yeah, so before we start, I was talking to uh mom earlier today, and it was I, I seen something today, right? And so it was an interesting post on that, and so it's kind of funny because it goes back to it kind of ties into what we was talking about a little, but a little, somewhat, sort of. And so what it was, the question is this: I'm gonna ask you guys, y'all tell me, y'all let me know. Do you think with the guys, all right, for everyone who's in here, so in Genesis 19, right? For everyone who has read Genesis 19, okay. Do you think? I want y'all to think about this, and we're gonna read this. It's gonna be it's gonna be the one of that I like to do every once in a while. Throw some in there and just have your mind chuckling a little bit, have your mind blowing. You be like, what? What in the heck? So it's always good to do that every once in a while. So can do y'all think angels could mingle with humans? Humans mingle with angels. Like they take the first initiative, or the angels take the first initiative. Do y'all think that could happen?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
so too.
Sit
Think-
down.
Okay. All right. So look, this is what we got. All right, cool bean. So somebody go to Yogi. Can you go to Genesis 19?
Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
And so this goes to the because I was talking to someone, and it was like, man, they don't think that uh, Nephilims happen. Like they don't think that there's no such thing as a Nephilim. I'm like, well, that means tell
O-
me you don't think there's some such thing as demon. So,
Okay,
oh, but watch this. You at 19?
yeah.
All right. Okay, yeah, 19 you're reading from was the NLT or the King James.
NLT.
All right, cool bean. I want everybody to go to Genesis 19. Y'all let me know when y'all got it though. But when y'all got the you ready? Everybody that'll be good? All right. A thumbs up or something. Okay, so I can say, all right, cool, beat out. All
Oh,
right, no problem. Yo, okay, start reading 19. Go ahead and read it. You don't have to read it fast. Just read it nice and slow. Because if you gotta let this sit, this is gonna trip y'all out.
That evening, the two angels came to the entrance of the city of Sodom.
Yes,
Lot,
Sodom. Bam. You see what we talking about? We talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Go ahead,
Mhm.
continue. Watch this, y'all.
Lot was sitting there, and when he saw them, he stood up to meet them. Then he welcomed them and bowed with his face to the ground.
All right. Verse 2. Go ahead.
My lords, he said, come to my home to wash your feet and be my guest for the night. You may then get up early in the morning and be on your way again. Oh no, they replied. We'll just spend the night out here in the city square.
All right,
Verse
stop right there. Stop
okay.
right there. All right, so we see that, right? We see that, hey, the dude Lot was Abram nephew, I believe. Nephew. He went on ahead. These angels, now mind you, God is about to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, right? He's about to destroy the city. Mind you, they had these two angels came. Now let me ask you a question. How y'all think them angels look? Y'all think they look like humans, or you think they look uh in a different form, which they could be? If y'all had to
Different form.
guess.
They probably was just
A
tall.
different form.
Y'all think they just was tall? Okay. Just tall? Okay. All right. I think it was in the form of like a human, just look like a regular human. Because you know they had a Bible verse that said, hey, be careful, be mindful of who you entertain when you entertaining strangers or not, because you probably entertain the angel. But continue. Continue. Go ahead on you.
Okay, verse 3. But Lot insisted, so at last they went home with him. Lot prepared a feast for them, complete with fresh bread made without yeast, and they ate.
Stop right there.
Okay.
Y'all see the angels ate? Y'all see that, huh? They sat down with them and they eating. You know, everybody like to eat, right? Even though angels don't need food. But you see how they are mingling amongst with a regular person and whatnot. So, you know, they could blend in. Continue. Go ahead.
4. But before they retired for the night, all the men of Sodom, young and old, came from all over the city and surrounded the house.
Stop right there. Why y'all think they surrounded the house?
You hear the angels is in there.
Like, well, they do y'all think they know they're angel, or you think they just know it's meant? This meant because you know they always watch.
they knew it
Okay,
was a bunch of men in there.
all right,
Mm,
okay. Do
yeah.
it so meant. All right, cool beans. Keep on going. Verse 6.
Verse verse 6, you
Five.
said?
I'm sorry. Verse 5. I'm sorry.
Um, 5. They shouted to Lot, where are the men who came to spend the night with you? Bring
Stop
them
right there.
out.
Stop right there. Stop right there. You heard that? They thought it was men, right? They look at
Mhm.
blended and regular men, right? Continue.
Where are the men who came to spend the night with you? Bring them out to us so we can have sex with them.
Oh my God. Stop right there. Oh my God. Y'all hear this? The men's wanted to have sex with the angels, yo. What's up, Reggie? You just made it. You did. What's up, Reggie? Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that?
That's crazy.
The men wanted to have sex with the angels. Hmm. When the fallen angels fell down, right? They fell down, right?
Mhm.
And who did they mingle with? The daughters, right? Because they found them to be fair, right? Where they be with DNA, transfiguring DNA when actually having sex, and they had the giants, right? That's how the giants came about. And that's why God destroyed the earth at that time because they're like, hey, y'all got this breed of people that's still or not. But look at this. And Sodom and Gomorrah was so nasty and trifling, y'all, that they wanted to sleep with the angels. I said, oh my God, look at this. Look at these heathens. You know? So I found it to be funny that man, they went on ahead and they was attempting to sleep in my youth. It was men on men. You see that? Y'all see that? So nothing new under the sun. All that stuff been
That's
going
the
on.
crazy part,
Yeah.
So it's like, even
Crazy.
though we thought, we were taught that, okay, it's abomination against God and you ain't supposed to do that. This is what we know. But it just goes to show you that It's been going on, like you're saying, nothing new under
Huh?
the sun. It was in Solomon and Gomorrah, and they doing it today. God destroyed Solomon and Gomorrah for it, huh? And he gonna destroy these fools too.
So now it's about to get a little bit more interesting. Like three more verses. Uh, verse 6. Go ahead, yo. Read verse 6.
So Lot stepped outside to talk to them, shutting the door behind him. 7.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Now I'm trying to paint this picture so y'all can see. Like Lot was inside the house eating with them. The angels inside. He came. He made the feast for him. He cooked for him. You know when somebody come to your house, people always clean. When they got guests coming, you gonna clean it up. You gonna feed them. You gonna take care of, right? Make sure they good. He stepped outside, closed the door. You know, like, hey man, hold up, bro. I got guests up in here, man. Lot, but look, Lot knew they were angels. You see that? Lot knew this because when they first came, he bowed down to them or whatnot. You're like, oh my gosh, you're like, oh, these angels or whatnot. Whether they was in that form that they form that they always was at,
But
or they
how did Lot know that they were angels though? Like how the
because
people
he
that was outside didn't know?
because I would think that they transfigured. So Lot probably the angel probably they met Lot and seen him or whatnot, and no one was around at some point, and then they transfigured into human form. That's the only way it would make sense because you see that when the people came and surrounded the house, they said, "Hey, call them men that was inside your house." So they thinking they look just like them. They're not saying like, "Oh, call an angel," because they would have summoned an angel from. They probably, oh my God, they would have been in shock also or whatnot. So that was the caveat of it. It's like, man, they looked at them, they saw whoever went inside the house, they saw them looking as men, as men. Verse 7. Go ahead, read verse 7, yo. We're gonna stop at verse 10, yo.
Please, my brothers, he begged, don't do such a wicked thing.
Oh my gosh, right there. Wicked thing. Isn't that something? Wasn't it wicked when the angel went on ahead and went into the daughter, you know, uh the daughters or whatnot? And that's when God destroyed the earth. Oh my God.
Hmm.
Isn't it God when he do it once, sometimes he do it twice. Look at this, y'all. I just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to point this out, y'all. Look at this. He has a pattern of doing things. When he ain't playing, he ain't playing. Continue read, yo. Go ahead to verse 8.
8. Look, I have 2 virgin daughters.
Oh,
Let me bring them out to you, and you can do with them as you wish. But please leave these men alone, for they are my guests and are under my protection.
stop right there. You mean to tell me they was so nasty? They wanted the man. They wanted the man. They was fiending for them dudes. Them angels. Well, they thinking they do, but angels. Look at that, yo. They didn't even want the virgins. That's what people wanted to marry back then. They wanted the virgins. They like, nah, give me the virgin girl. That's the one. She ain't been touched. They wanted the men, yo. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
So watch the renine.
9. Stand back, they shouted. This fellow came to town as an outsider, and now he's acting like our judge. We'll treat you far worse than those other men. And they lunged toward Lot to break down the door.
All right, so we can start right there. But what happens next is that the angels didn't let him come in and he wound up killing him, yo. So, but I wanted to point out, John, I just wanted to throw in something a little different before we read tonight. Look at this. People trying to mingle with angels. And I wonder what they was going to try to, well, they can't reproduce, right? You know, a male going into, well, I can't even say that because angels don't have no, no sex organ,
No
right?
genitalia.
Yeah, they don't. They're well, they're angels. They're not male or female or whatnot, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like these men was trying to sleep with these men, and if they would have did that, right? I wonder what they was gonna try. What would have came of that? Because it looked like to me that the devil was trying to go on ahead as he did before. Hey, let me go on ahead and try to reproduce something or produce something. Whether he probably couldn't do it in that physical way, in that way with it being a man, versus a woman, but he saw an opportunity to cause more havoc and get more angels on his side.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see that? Because he
Mm-hmm.
already had some of the fallen ones. He had like, oh man, I might could give me two more. That's a go. Strike me two more of them. Come join the team. So, oh yeah, yo, I just wanted to point that out. The men try to go sleep with the angels, yo, and not the angels going to mess with trying to approach the people as it was before, right in Genesis. a little further up. So I thought that was something to read, something interesting, and just to give y'all a little different take, show you how crazy that place was back then. That he destroyed the whole place. And let me add to, today, uh, just recently they went over there and the location of Sodom and Gomorrah, they still have the sand in the land, and which is all sand and rock, is still scorched from when God burned it, when he sent down the fire. You still had a residue from that.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing, y'all. Blew my mind when I saw that. Blew my mind. All right. Okay, now let's get down to the milk and cookies. Y'all ready for the milk and cookies?
Let's
Ready.
do it.
All right, let's go. All right, we on. Anybody found that interesting? I thought that was mine. That Bible, I'll be telling people, man, the Bible be a little bit more than what y'all thinking, man. It's far from boring. This sucker here
Yeah.
be going. It goes in. I who's new here tonight. Y'all know that I read from NLT and I read from the King James Version, for context purpose or whatnot. So we make sure that we're on the same page and we are flowing so we can get a grasp of understanding of it. And with the NLT, what I found was that it's a little bit more understanding for the times of now in the language. If y'all want to like people like to see what words mean, identify words, BibleHub.com. That will help y'all. Bible Lexicon. That's a website where you can put in the word, it'll translate it from Hebrew, Greek, and Latin and give you the meaning of it. Sometimes the words may have multiple different meanings in the context that they're talking about. Okay, that's enough talking with that. Now let me get the ruler. Here we go. Matthew 23. Y'all know?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, cool beans. Matthew 20. And now on 23, if y'all read 23, is that Matthew, man, Jesus, like, it's like he started turning it up, yo. Like he going in, but humbly. That's the funny thing. They say he really didn't yell and do that much. Humbly going there. He is when the Pharisees, really the Pharisees and the scribes, the Sadducees, and like they was hiding somewhere, y'all, or the priests. Remember in 22, how it was always the priests, the scribes, and the Pharaoh how they'll gang up on them and switch out, like, hey, let the scribes ask him this thing, let the Pharisees ask him this thing, let the Sadducees, scribes, and the priests ask him this. But for some reason, in 23, he was harping on the Pharisees. Oh, he ran them out, yo. Let me start reading. Matthew 23, verse 1, and from the NLT. Then Jesus said to the crowd and to his disciples, the teachers of religious law and the Pharisees are the official interpreters of the law of Moses. Okay. Verse 3. So practice and obey whatever they tell you, but don't follow their example. Ooh, well, they do not practice what they teach. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. All right, y'all, let me ask y'all this question. How many times, how many times you found yourself doing that?
Too
Not
many
Too
practicing.
times to
many.
count.
Too many. Uh-huh.
Y'all thought I was gonna say, oh, how many times you seen us? No, no, no. Let's talk about self. That's us. Oh, I did many times. A lot of us are parents on here. A lot of times we do that with our kids. We say one thing, we did a whole nother. But with life experience and everything, we know that it's the best choice, better choice. And when they don't do what we tell them to do, we get mad.
The saying is, don't do what I do, do what I say.
Yeah, that's the wrong answer. And if y'all want to be honest, it's kind of tough. It's like, hey, if you lay down the standard or whatnot, hey, that's a daily thing you have to walk. They're like walking with Christ. It's a daily thing you have to walk by when I, the state, to stay uphold and walk that walk. Because I know I stray off. Me, I don't know about y'all. I know that happens to
Mhm.
me too. I'm the first to say it, but I'm gonna try to straighten it back up and get back on it. But hey, I raise my hand. I know many others can too. Hey,
Mhm.
sometimes I'm not practicing what I'm preaching, but I'm getting better, yo. We getting better. We getting better. We getting better. Verse 4. They crush people with unbearable religious demands and never lift a finger to ease the burden. Y'all see that when people go be in religious settings? Key word, what he said, religious settings, right? Uh,
Mhm.
and that So and it's like it's tough. It's tough, you know. Mind you, with the setting is like religious or whatever. Religious outside of church, anything could be like a religious set, like a cult or anything. You know, that's similar to that. It's like, hey, when you're a part of this, making it hard for them or whatnot, so it can make it easy for them. But watch what they like to do. That's the funny thing. That's why being humble, man, it's like you being humble, you get like 1,000 more points. Like, you could get a whole lot of more points or whatnot. And it pays to be humble. Four, they crush people with unbearable religious demand and never lift a finger to ease the burden. Verse five. Everything they do is for show. On their arms, they wear extra wide prayer boxes with scripture verses inside, and they wear robes with extra long tassels. Verse 6. And they love to sit at the head of the table banquets and in the seats of honor in the synagogue. Oh, they want the light, y'all. They want shine. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
Eric, you know, they come along like, hey, everybody, how you doing? Brother so and so, sister so and so. They love it knowing that attention, you know? Man, man, you better be humble. Christ wants you to be humble, bro. You want to be humble. Because when you think about it, I forgot the Bible verse, where it's at, but you don't, when you're humble and you find in Christ and you're humble and you're doing your part, you don't have to look for that. People are going to automatically do it. They're going to praise you automatically. When that, they going to places looking for it, you know, like, no, people, you know how when you have, and that example of that is when you're not in rooms, right? And people are talking about you, having conversations about you, and they're a good conversation. Man, this person got a good heart. This person got a good spirit. They are so well man, whatever it may be. Never had a problem with that. They are praising you. Not saying you're God, but they're saying, hey, man, kudos to this guy. Kudos to this lady. That's what's going on. A lot of us probably have experienced that a whole lot. Eight, don't let anyone call you. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see what. I'm sorry, y'all.
You know,
Seven,
7.
they love to receive respectful greetings as they walk in the marketplace and to be called rabbi. Verse 8, don't let anyone call you rabbi, for you have only one teacher, and all of you are equal as brothers and sisters. That's why I always say we all the same, yo. We all the same. Ain't no different. I may know more, you may know more, whatever it may be. I may know this area, you may know that area. We are all equal. All equal. There's no one better than the other. I didn't say it. Christ said it. Verse 9. And don't address anyone here on earth as father. For
Now, I
only
have
God and
something to say about that, Terrell. I often wondered, see, in the Bible, it said don't address nobody as father. So why in the Catholic religion do they address them men as father?
so that's a title, right? That's a title, right?
That's a
And that's
title
like,
that turned me against them because I was like, you ain't my father. I ain't calling you no father.
yeah,
You ain't my daddy.
yeah, yeah. And it's funny. I remember growing up. I heard that too, and I was like, man, I said, man, and I don't know where I don't know if I read it in the Bible, or somebody told me or whatnot. Like, hey, you don't call nobody father. Like, yeah, you have your daddy, you know, who birthed you, but you don't call no one father. You only have one father in heaven. And when I heard that going to Catholic church, I was like, why are you father? He said, and you go up in the room, you say, Father, I have sinned. Man, you
Yeah,
ain't my
like,
daddy.
right, exactly, exactly.
You ain't my daddy. You know, so
That makes me think that they, as you read more and more in the Bible, that they really do go against God's law a whole lot.
yeah, yeah, his word. And so it's that position, it's like authority in the Catholicism is like authority, that high one, you know, uh
Hmm.
that guy. And and I'm like, when I saw that, it was clear as all doors. But in the King James it says, oh no, I'm saying nine, it says, and call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your father which is in heaven. And oh yeah, the next one will be about masters, calling the masters. So
Hmm.
I was like, hey, even as a young kid for myself, I'm like, okay, well, I can't call you father, little priest guy, because the Bible, I think you're reading the same one, I'm not sure, but it's God said you only have one father in heaven. So that always, always rubbed me different. And but that goes to show you, like, we're gonna see a little bit more how you'll see things that's in the Bible that may relate to other different faiths. People study different things or whatnot. And you hear Christ or someone saying, "Hey, nah, you don't want to do that." And the reason why you don't want to do it. Verse 10. And don't let anyone call you teacher, for you have only one teacher, the Messiah. I think even today they be calling people rabbi and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I done heard some people being called rabbi.
So verse 11. The greatest among you must be a servant. Ooh, y'all hear that? And that goes back to, you see what how to in verse what it is 4, where not verse 4, well verse 5 through 7, how it's talking about how the Pharisees or whatnot, they like to, be honored and stuff like that. And it said, but notice what Christ said, the greatest among you is a servant. A servant. That's the greatest or whatever. Humbleness, servant, doing the groundwork, getting it in. Yeah, that how can I help you? No, 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 none of that. Oh, you help me, this and that. Nah. Uh-uh. No, no. Verse 12. But those who exalt themselves will be humbled. Ooh. You hear that? Ooh. And those who humble themselves will be exalted. How many times we exalted ourselves in a situation or you puffed yourself up and you got humbled real quick?
Hmm.
I know I have. I didn't got humbled a couple of times. But oof, don't worry about it. I'm good. All right, crazy. I see what you're saying. I'm good. I ain't gonna do it no more. And mess around and
Hmm.
go do it again a few months later. But man, thank you for mercy and grace, right? But but yeah, and not like getting humbled by God. That's different. That humble pie hits a little bit different because you sit in it. You sit in it and then you recognize it. You're like, okay, all right, okay. And then he always say, hey, let's start again. But then again, it flips around and says, Jesus said, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. People, that goes back to people having conversations about you. That's a portion of it. They are, saying, hey, this person is good. This person X, Y, and Z, this and that. Patrick this, Yogi this, under the JT this, she this and that, or whatnot. It's amazing when you're not in the room and people are talking good things about you, how far that goes. And you're not even in the presence and then speaking good. That goes along, and that's amazing. 13. What sorrow, what sorrow awaits you teachers of religious law, you Pharisees, hypocrites. Notice how it just religious law, right? And that's gonna be the scribes. And King James would say, but woe unto you scribes. So he hitting on the ones who teaching it and the Pharisees. The Sadducees, remember that group, y'all? The ones who was the upper echelon ones, the ones who be considered the senators. They not in this right now. They're not in this at this moment. 13. What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites? For you shut the door of the kingdom of heaven in people's faces. You won't go in yourselves, and you don't let others enter either. 15. What sorrows await you teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites? For you cross land and sea to make one convert, and then you turn that person into twice the child of hell you yourself. Oh my gosh. You know how you move somebody to be something, or you get someone, and they be like, oh man, they worse than me. They did it. They did it. You know, Christ is saying, hey, you are making this person this way or not. But you know what? I got something for you. I have something. I have a nice cake baked for you. 16. Blind guys, what sorrow awaits you? For you say that it means nothing to swear by God's temple, but that it is binding to swear by the gold in the temple. Blind fool, 17. Which is more important, the gold or the temple that makes the gold sacred? They're they're going by they're going by things, by idols. If y'all look at that. Let me read 16 again. Blind guys, what sorrows await you? For you saying that it means nothing to swear by God's temple. They say, hey, by God's temple, this and that, X, Y, Z. But that it is binding to swear by the gold in the temple. But you don't want to swear by the gold. You can swear by the temple. Nah, don't swear by the goat. Don't do that. 17, blind fool. Which is more important, the goat or the temple that makes the goat sacred? 18, and you say to swear, and you say that to swear by the altar. It's not binding, but to swear by the gifts on the altar is binding. You know how that goes to show you, y'all, I want y'all to see something binding, right? They swear, right? So when you swear, what are you doing? You're saying the word, right? You're speaking, right? So as you're speaking, right? And what did we say? Words are what? Spirits?
Mm-hmm.
Like words have power. And what did he say? Bind it. You see what Christ said? He's telling us right there. Hey, you're swearing by something, right? You're coming into agreement. You're holding it. Binding mean to hold, capture. You see that? I hope y'all see that. Wait, where am I? 18. And you say that to say swear by the altar is not binding, but to swear by the gifts of the altar is binding. 19. How blind? For which is more important, the gifts on the altar or the altar that makes the gift sacred? 20. When you swear by the altar, you are swearing by it and by everything on it. 21. And when you swear by the temple, you are swearing by it and by God who lives in it. Mm, mm. 22. And when you swear by heaven, you are swearing by the throne of God and by God who sits on the throne. Oh my gosh. That's a dangerous thing to do, yo. And people wonder when they be swearing and stuff and they're speaking, they're binding things, right? And all these crazy situations come about and they lie. You did it to yourself. We have to be mindful of that. And also the power of that, understanding the power of speaking things and the power of the tongue when words come out and what they do. It's not like it don't just go out and don't. It's not just doing it. Then when God spoke, he created the heavens and earth. He spoke and boom. So being mindful of that, y'all. 23. What sorrows await you, teachers of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites, for you are careful to tithe even the tiniest income from your herb gardens, but ignore the most important aspects of the law: justice, mercy, and faith. You should tithe, yes, but do not neglect the more important things. Y'all see in 23, okay, y'all see what he's saying with tithe is? When you tithing? You see how he says with food? You see that?
Mm-hmm.
It's with food. It's with
But
food.
but Mitch, that
Uh,
kind of goes back to when he talks about your first fruit. When you tithe is your first fruit. So almost as if he's saying your first harvest, you whatever you get before you put out here, left, right, up or down, it
Give me
goes
that.
it
Yeah.
goes to that. So
Mm.
he's still being consistent with the word fruit in all that, and that's what kind of strikes to me the most.
Man, I'm glad you said that, good brother. I'm glad you said that. That's powerful, y'all. Because if we look at that and compare that to now, right? A lot of times, what people going, what's the easy way, a quick way for going ahead and tide and help, right? Money. Most people working, doing a whole lot of things. They got life going on, stuff like that. Money. With a good heart, they go in with whatever it is or whatnot. And there's a lot of people they've been tied in that way. They're first, just like this brother said, they're first. Whatnot. They give that point, whatever, and they see things changes in their life. But it's not always financial. It's not always your first fruit of anything that's in your life. Because some people may not have the fun. You mean to tell me if I don't get no money, God ain't gonna bless me or oh, be effective in my life? That's the craziest thing in the world. Some people say that though. Some people say that. But it's not that. It's not that first fruit. I'm glad you said that, brother. What we at? 24. Blind guys. You strain your water so you won't accidentally swallow a net, but you swallow a camel. Man, they thinking they doing something small. They trying to, man, make sure we ain't doing nothing, harmful. But you really doing something bigger than that. Bigger than that. You see how the small thing, you think it's something small, but it's actually big. And that's when you look at sin. All sin is magnified to God. You know, it's loud. It's very, very loud, right? If we think it's little or small, it's very, very loud. Sin itself is super duper loud in God's eyes. That's why he say, man, none of that's why he say no sin can enter. But also this, that's why he say everyone's forgiven. You ever thought about that? It means the dude who murdered somebody, he gonna be in heaven too, versus by the dude who just used to lie. Yeah, if they believe.
Hmm.
Yeah, it all looks the it's it's like an open faith. It's like, hey, it's this one way that God look at it. It ain't no different. Now, of course, Ben and us humans, we gonna look at it different. Nah, he need to get a little bit more time for this and that. Okay, all right. That's laws of the land. Okay, got it. Got it. But not in God's eye. 25. What sorrows await you, teacher of religious law, and you Pharisees, hypocrites? For you are so careful to clean the outside of the cup and the dish, but inside you are filthy, full of greed and self-indulgence. Self-indulgence, y'all. Look at that. You talking about the Pharisees? You talking about the Pharisees? You full of greed and self-indulgence. Me. That goes to that. Me. Oh my God, that's the sound of that just irritates me. Me. Self. Right saying all the greatest of you is the servant, not self. It's never self. You know, 26. You blind Pharisee, first wash the inside of the cup and the dish, and then the outside will become clean too. 27. What sorrows await you, teacher of religious law, and you Pharisee, hypocrites? For you are like whitewashed tombs, beautiful on the outside, but filled on the inside with dead people's bone and all sorts of impurity. I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, and I think we see that so much. You know, how people could look well together, well put together on the outside, but on the inside, man, you know, hey, makeup and all that, you can mask it up real good, right? But at times when you see them, you could see it, like it just like when people had a nastiness or whatever that spirit, whatever that is, the evilness that be inside them, it can't hold itself. You know, it can't withhold itself. It has to come out. You know, it's going to illuminate some kind of way. It's going to come out. And you see it and you be like, man, look at this person. Are they dealing with this, you know? And a lot of times they be looking for help. They really be looking for I found that most people in matter situations like that, they be looking for help. They have a lot of hurt and they be looking for help. 28. Outwardly you look like righteous people, but inwardly your hearts are filled with hypocrisy and lawlessness. Now I would hate to look good on the outside and bad on the inside, y'all. Christ know your heart. You know your heart. And you know what he said goes back when we've been talking about heart. Your hearts are filled with lawlessness. You see that? Man, that heart something else, huh?
Hmm.
29. What sorrows awaits you, teacher of religious law, and you Pharisee? He still and y'all see something? He keep on hitting on the scribes and the Pharisees. He is weighing these people out. How many times he jumped at their necks? Let me see how many times in the chapter. It's gonna be let's go
Hey,
from first.
Mitch.
What's up, brother?
Hey, we can and while you're looking into that, you can go back and look and see how many times he's mentioned the word. He keeps going the word teacher, teacher, and what follows a teacher is, except for two different instances, is those who are kind of teaching the wrong thing, and the byproduct of what happens with that. So that's what I'm following too.
You so you're right, because look, 'cause I'm glad you said that. The fruit goes back to the fruits of that. The fruits of that teaching. The fruits of that teaching. Because you're gonna have in the context that you're gonna have people who, hey, like this brother, this is me, no, yeah, of course they're gonna come to you and they'll tell you about the word. They're not they're teaching you. They teaching you the word. And that's what they're doing, or whatnot. But it's the fruits of that. The fruits of that. Have you how many of us, man, how many of us been taught wrong? How many? It's like, man, that that's That's a some of us may say, man, I don't know, you know. But you know what? But the beauty of it is it's not on you. It's on them. Where they heart was at. God's gonna hold them accountable. Where their heart is at. So Pharisees and he talking about the scribes, 15, 1, 16, 2, then another one, 3, then another one, 4, 5. Like he keep on like yo, he's keep on hitting at this. Like he's driving the point. He's driving it and he's kicking the door. And he have his foot on the gas and he's not letting off. His foot is literally on their neck because he know what's about to happen next. 29. What sorrows await you teachers of religious law and you Pharisees, hypocrites, for you build tombs for the prophet your ancestors killed, and you decorate the monuments of the godly people your ancestors destroyed. Oh my God. You decorate the monuments of the godly people your ancestors destroyed. But look what Christ said, y'all. Then you say, if we had lived in the days of our ancestors, we would have never have joined them in killing the prophet. Man, y'all would have been right there with him. Kill, Bill. Kill Bill. Y'all would have been along with him. 31. But in saying that, you testify against yourself that you are indeed the descendants of those who murdered the prophet. 32. Go ahead and finish what your ancestors started. 33. Snakes, son of vipers. How we escape the judgment of hell. Man, when Christ said that, I said, oh man, he telling them all. He telling them all. He said, go ahead and finish what your ancestors started. You snake, you vipers. He's going in. And he continuously he used snake and then he used viper. Isn't a viper a snake? Then he says snakes. So
Yep.
two different
Yep.
types.
But he doubled down on it though. He doubling down on it.
And it's like, man, he is not. I'm trying to paint the picture, y'all, that Christ is not playing. He's it's like he have them in the corner. It's like when a kid is get in trouble, right? And mom or dad get tired of it, and he say, you know what? I'm on you now, and I'm laying everything out. That's what he's doing. No running from it. You can't run from it. This is exactly what it is. And you know what's the crazy part? He still loved them and willing to save them. Let me continue. 34. Therefore, I am sending you prophets and wise men and teachers of religious law. He's talking about later. But you will kill some by crucifixion, and you will flog others with whips in your synagogue, chasing them from city to city. As a result, as a result, you will be held responsible for the murder of all godly people of all time, from the murder of the righteous Abel to murder of Zechariah, son of Barika, who you killed in a temple between the sanctuary and the altar. I say, oh my God, you gonna carry all that weight? Oh my God, you is held accountable. You see that? Because of your ways, because you following this pathway. You Pharisees and you teachers of the religion law, you scribes. Y'all are the ones of this. 36. I tell you the truth. The judgment will fall on this very generation. 37. Jesus grieves over Jerusalem. Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills the prophet and stones God messengers. How often have I wanted to gather your children together as a hen protects her chicken beneath her wing, but you wouldn't let me. You see that? You
Hmm.
see how he still, even with them doing that, he still wanted to take care of them. I was like, man, Christ is so good, man. I ain't no way nowhere I could have did. But look at that. Look at his love. Look at his love. 38. And now look, your house is abandoned and desolate. 39. For I tell you this, you will never see me again until you see blessings on the one who comes in the name of the Lord.
Hmm.
Man. Christ wasn't playing the 23, y'all. He was like brother saying, yeah, he tripled down. He like after you hear that, man, when you get that, you get in trouble, your mom and your dad to come at you and check you and let you have it, you be straight. You be good. You be like, man, dang, bro. Yeah, I did that. I was wrong. You know, you start thinking about it overnight. You start thinking about it, like, man. Then you find, I know as a kid, I used to find myself trying to do anything to butter my mom up. You know, hey, try to go give her a kiss or something. You know, I'm feeling what she done told me. It's cut. It's cut. Man, anybody got anything to say about that chapter? Y'all good?
That chapter was deep.
Yeah, yeah. Christ was on it. He was laying like his foot was on the gas. Foot was on the gas. All gas, no brakes.
I really enjoyed reading it. Remember, because I had talked to you about it. I really enjoyed reading
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Christ really wasn't. And you see, like he normally don't. But y'all know this towards the end of what he's about to get crucified. So like, if you notice, if you look at the pattern of Christ, he was quiet. He really didn't say too much. He said a little, then he'll say, then he'll be chill. He'll say, then he'll be chill. But at this point right here, when he went on ahead, he was going to Jerusalem. Oh, he was man, he was letting it all out, and he was doing it so much. I was like, man, he is not playing. Like he weighing them all out. Let's start reading 24, y'all.
The word of God. But to the Sadducees and Pharisees and scribes on that time, they were perplexed. They didn't even know who Jesus was talking about, or they didn't even accept who Jesus was actually talking about.
And you know what's funny about that? When Christ asked me, he said, who you say who was the son of the Messiah? And
Hmm.
they were like David. So I'm like, man, they knew.
Yeah, so they always know, but um due to indignation, they always play dumb because they always know that if they say the wrong thing, Jesus is gonna be right. So they'd rather lie. Those who do know, they would rather lie. And I like the idea that he said the brood of vipers, meaning that y'all come from a whole family of these crooks. Of evil dwellers. It's like y'all come from a family of these people. Y'all have
Yeah,
always been doing this from the very beginning.
yeah.
And when he speak about the family, he's saying that y'all not gonna stop. This is y'all lineage. This is what y'all are. This is y'all character. This is how they identify y'all.
It's in you.
Mm.
That famous and man, it's just in you. And it's like, man, but also let me add to what Lou was saying is that the people, even when it's been a few times they say we don't know, you know, we don't know, and I'm like, man, okay, and there'll be I think it's what 21 or 20, I think it's 20 or 21. Christ asked them a question, they're like, we don't know, but it goes back to what Lewis said. They're like, hey, if we say yeah, that means we're gonna go on ahead, we gotta go by the law and get stoned, and if we say no. It's like, well, he's gonna go back to what Lewis said. Hey, he's right. And so they say, hey, we don't know. That's the safe passage, right? Safe. Let me
Mm,
just play. Let me just play this safe or whatnot. I don't,
mm.
I don't want to strangle along the fence. But as I'm playing it safe, you know what? We're gonna try again and try to go on ahead and get him.
And the
Try to
last
cross him
part,
up.
what Christ was saying, Christ always gives them an out. Christ knew that they weren't going to come to full repentance, but he gave them that chance to come to full
Yeah,
repentance. But he
yeah,
knew they weren't. So it's more so for us rather than for them,
yeah.
because the Bible says that there's a people that's coming that's going to be even greater than those who are now,
Uh-huh,
because they have not seen nor have heard, yet they still believe. So
uh-huh.
even with the word, sometimes the word isn't directly for that people. Sometimes it's for the next people.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's
And that's what
it's
we are. We are to take heed, we are to listen, and we ought to be. I had said this one time, this is gonna be the last thing I say, that the Bible majorly is about things not to do. So when a lot of times you look at like all the different stories or the illustrations, it's telling a whole bunch of stuff on what not to do, how not to behave, and then there's very few stories that show this is exactly what you do. So
yeah.
majority of the Bible is showing you don't do this. I've done this, but don't do this. This is what
Yeah.
happened to me, but you don't do this. But what do? We still do the
We
same
still do
thing.
it. But also this, like you said, it tells you why I don't do it. Like it'll go into like, what's the what's the consequences of me doing this? That's the thing. It's like it doesn't lead you to a hey. Nah, just don't do this and just because. Nah, he said we ain't supposed to do it. No, 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 no. It's none of that. It would tell you why and the consequences of it. But like Lewis said, and look, we've been talking about that the last what 4 weeks, y'all, 4 5 weeks or whatnot.
Yeah,
Um,
about that.
about that. How we would do what we ain't supposed to do. And we still, but it's mercy and grace, man. Man, this at that moment I think I say, man, wow, wow, he loved us that much. Loved us that much. Even with the Pharisees, she still was trying to get him. Like, I want to protect y'all so much. Matthew 24, verse 1. As Jesus was leaving the temple grounds, his disciples pointed out to him the various temple buildings. 2. But he responded, do you see all these buildings? I'll tell you the truth. They will be completely demolished. Not one stone will be left on top of another. 3. Later, Jesus sat on the Mount of Olives. His disciple came to him privately and said, y'all saw that privately? You know how, hey, Christ would say something, and then the disciples, they go to him by themselves or not. It's like a common thing. Like when they want to get a little bit more in depth of what he meant. Like, hey, man, hey, Christ, what you talking about, bro? I heard what you said, but what you mean? And he will always reveal that to them in private. 3. Later, Jesus sat on the Mount of Olives. His disciples came to him privately and said, tell us when will all this happen? What signs will signal your return and the end of the world? Y'all see that part? Your return and end of the world. Two events. Two events. His return and the end. 4. Jesus told them, don't let anyone mislead you. For many will come in my name claiming, I am the Messiah. They will deceive many. I got something funny for y'all. So a lot of times at work, right? Most of y'all know what I do over that. So at work, they will have people, right? They will come and it'll be a mental health call, right? If you'll go to the call, y'all, and they'll be like, I'm Jesus Christ. They be high or something or that. And they think they better. But boy, they always say, hey, I am Jesus Christ. And I always think about Matthew. I'm like, whoa, that's what Jesus was talking about? Like, they talking about the Messiah, right? So I find it funny because a lot of times, I kid you not, yo. Man, it's just something that was funny. When you see people dealing with mental health or whatnot, they're gonna say either they're the devil or they're a guy. You man, who on here? Tony on here? Tony, man, Tony. If he listening, man, he could confirm it overnight. If y'all think I'm playing every time, I'm Jesus.
Telling the truth, bro.
He'd be like, you
Telling the
Jesus.
truth.
He'd be like, okay, all right. He'd be like, I got 10,000 angels with me, this and that. And he'd be like, oh, well, you and your angel going to jail tonight. All right, let me continue read, yo. Verse 6, and you will hear of wars and the threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. So, and as he said that, right? And I'm gonna read this from the King James. I think it falls a little bit differently. Verse 4, and this from the King James show. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. 5, for many shall come in my name saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So when we think about that, right? Look at the time of now, right? So we say, what do we see? I'm not sure if y'all are well, since 22, the what, 21? The war with Russia, right? Russia and
Yeah.
Ukraine, Russia and Ukraine going on. Even at the time, that's when they had a whole lot of earthquakes going on in diverse places, crazy places. I don't know if y'all seen it's a Netflix show where the people was on this mountain and on some island, and the volcano erupted right there and there, y'all. Most of them died. Some of them made it, though. I don't know how the camera made it, but they was recording live like it's happening right there. And it wasn't per se the lava that really killed them, right? It was the smoke. I was like, man. And so some of the people and the smoke, was burning their body up or whatnot. And so from the heat, it was so hot. And some of the people made it to the water and they wound up getting saved from it. Some boats came and rescued them. I was like, man, that's wow. Man, I don't play with no volcanoes, none of that stuff. But We see that. We see since you 21, 22 Ukraine, right? Then you have the issue with China and Taiwan, right? China wants to take Taiwan. Then you have the issue with the Pakistanis and the Afghanis fight, right? Then freaking Iran and the US and Israel, right? And then we have the countries over there in Africa fight. If y'all not aware, like it is going down across the world. Like wars are like
Mm.
it is cracking. You be like, oh my gosh. We don't see it because maybe if we may not be into international news of what's going on or whatnot, but a lot of these things are happening right now. Like literally right now at this moment. And so I'm like, whoa, I'm like, yeah, it's always been things has always been happening, but not at this pace. And what we see is the talks with all these countries. You know what they're talking about? Nuclear, nuclear, nuclear. That's what we gonna strike. That's the next. It's like and some may think it's like it just talks or whatnot. It's the pasta to show like, hey, you the big bad guy. You're willing to fight, but I'm like, nah. I take them for what they say. Me personally. But I see that we see this pattern of wars and rumors of wars, and it's going on like actively. They have this going on. Verse 6, no, verse 7. Nations will go to war against nations, like we just mentioned right now. But this was one thing that stuck out. And kingdom against kingdom. What Ephesians 6 and 12 say?
Hmm.
Hmm. Kingdom against kingdom. Yeah, indeed. Good and bad.
Yeah.
There will be famines and earthquakes in many parts of the world. And so I'm not sure about well, with the famines, we saw that with the war in Ukraine, right? Like that's when wheat and stuff started becoming like it was abundance, right? And that's when they kind of toned down. Why? Because Ukraine produces like they're number two or number three in the world with producing the wheat for the world, right? So what that did, that caused the prices of everything to start going up, right? You're like, oh my gosh, now we don't have wheat. Now they don't have no wheat. You know why? Because Russia destroying all the fields and everything. So you're like, okay. So in certain parts of Africa, right, that's causing famine because sometimes that's all these people could afford. Now we not affected by it, per se on that aspect, but our pockets are getting affected over here. Everything's going up. The price of everything is going up. And so that dollar that you had, you could get out of $100, you're gonna get all 100. Your $100 is shrinking. Your $100 probably about $80 now. And it's just going further and further down to a point where it's gonna be like, man, this $100 ain't worth nothing. And it keep on kingdom against kingdom. And what we see, nation 7, nation will go to war against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famine and earthquakes in many parts of the world. So the part that says kingdom against kingdom, we know that when we hear that part, when I hear kingdom, I'm like, okay, this is talking about spiritual warfare or whatnot. And you can actually see it. And one thing I must say, even with social media and all this stuff now, like you see a lot of people promoting Christ, really out there on the ground, getting it in, preaching to people, telling people about the word, from all parts of the world. They're really getting it. So I'm not sure about y'all, but I could see it. I'm like, man, they have people out here who are really like, hey, they rocking with Christ. And then you see the other side also, who's not. So it's like when I read that verse, I'm like, that go to kingdom versus kingdom battle. That's how I could relate to it. I could see that, you know. Just like the enemy have agents, God have agents too,
Hmm.
different people. Same thing. It's literally a war. Verse 8. But all this is only the first of the birth pains, with more to come. Man, if it's bad now, y'all can imagine how it's gonna be later.
Hmm.
Nice. Then you would be arrested, persecuted, and killed. You would be hated all over the world because you are my followers. And so moments when I read the verse, I wanted to highlight persecution, right, for people's faith, right? One would be in China, now in China. You, you ain't being a Christian over there. You are underground for real. These people tell somebody like, bro, we can't even Bibles and all that. That's out of here. Or even in North Korea. South Korea, you okay. North Korea, nah, ain't happening. Is people have one Bible and there'd be hundreds of people. They gather together and they study or whatnot. And if they find out that you're a Christian, like you're gonna get arrested or whatnot. We see it also. Man, we could see it in the Middle East too. I've been seeing that. It was recently that some Christians was killed or whatnot because they were Christian. You know, and like Christ said right here, like it's just a hate thing. It's a hate factor. Or
Man,
whatnot.
I was talking to my brother David, and he had there went on and did a mission trip in China, and he said kind of like what you're saying. They'll have one Bible, and he said hundreds of families, each family will get one page, and he said like every family would memorize every single word
Uh huh. Uh huh.
on that page. And he said then they'll take their page and they'll take their page and they'll give their page to another family and then they'll get a new page and they'll memorize that entire page. And I was like, man, these people, they really dedicated. And like you said, if they're found to have it, they ain't going to jail. They're going to kill them. They're going to kill their whole entire family.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's not.
Look,
Yeah.
look, animals too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're the you had a goat Christian. you know. So, but not as serious. Um, and that's the thing about it, is like this is a serious matter. A real serious matter. And so it's like, but over here on the West, we don't see that, we don't see none of that. We see a whole lot of persecution, right? Meaning like, hey, for instance, like the basketball players or whatnot, when they stick up for what they believe in or whatnot, they're gonna go on ahead and ridicule you, talk about, persecute you with that, right? So we see that. But on the other side, it's like we're actually blessed to be here because we don't have to do, we don't, not to that extent. And which I think in a minute it will come, you know. That way of thinking is coming west or whatnot. If not fully, partially, it'll come or whatnot. Not because I just think, because of what Christ said.
What Terrell, you said is gonna come. It's here already, because you hear a lot of, well, I know I have. I done heard a lot of people say, God, yeah. Where they God at now? All this going on. They ain't got no
Yeah,
doggone. You
yeah,
hear people through, you could be passing it or standing in a line waiting on something, and people get in a conversation, and these are the things that you hear. And you're like,
yeah,
oh, you have to, I guess you'll say you take a step back, because you're like, there's a God.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
to hear that, to me, is kind of hurtful. I don't say nothing, but it's hurtful. Like, what you mean is ain't no God? Look around you. He all
yeah,
around you. Just look.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of time, a lot of that from what I've seen is hurt from whatever angle or not, and things didn't go their way or which way they thought it should go, and they are affected by that. You know, if you really sit down and talk to someone like that, if they let you in, and just having a human human conversation, like, hey, bro, genuinely, I'm not pushing. I just want to know why, what led you to this point or whatnot. And a lot of times it's gonna be hurt. I've, a lot of times it's hurt. You're like, wow,
Yeah, we have a family member that's like that, and you probably know who I'm talking about. And it comes from hurt. They can't understand why certain things happen in life.
well,
If we have
that's
the way they think is like, if there's a God, He wouldn't let that happen.
well, it's a God, yeah. You see, that's what and that's why the seeking part comes in. That
Mm-hmm.
And I always
you
tell
know,
people, I say, God gave man free will. It's not necessarily God that does a lot of these things. It's the evil men and the evil, wicked
yeah,
ways that they try to take whatever the way they have. The Bible says that the evil stay up at night and they think of all different ways
yeah,
of new
plot, they
types
plot.
of evil. They think of new types of ways of evil. Bro, how evil would you have to be to think of a new type of evil?
Hmm.
Yeah, I need to beat this level. Yeah, they really do. You're right, Lou. They do. They really, really do. They really, really do. And it'll be like, man, look, I got this new scheme or this and that. And most of the time is that scheme just adjusted. It's not even nothing new. They'll be like, bro, it's the same thing. Well, you need to leave it alone because it's not working for you, man. It's not working for you.
So see,
Um,
that's why it makes sense how The morning start like 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's when you can really
A
pray
lot of
because so
stuff.
much is
Yeah.
going on. Yeah, it lines
Mm-hmm.
up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It lines
And
up.
that's a whole nother thing. That right there. That time of the morning, that watch hour, 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
in the morning. What I wanted to say, I forgot my thought. I was about to say something. Uh, okay, let me finish reading, y'all. Verse 10. And many will turn away from me and betray and hate each other. Verse 11. And many false prophets will appear and will deceive many people. Mm-mm-mm-mm. We see that so often. Well, I always tell people like, hey man, no man or woman is different from you. Like Christ did say, be all brothers and sisters. And whatnot. Hey, if somebody telling you something, you go and you look for it in the Bible and cross reference. I hear what you're saying, but let me see what God said. And if you don't know, you pray on it. You pray on it. You ask him, hey Father, show me this. What is this? What are they talking about? Reveal this truth to me or whatnot. Because he'll never leave you confused. Never leave you confused. I know what my thought was. So to go back to what you said, somebody was talking about, hey, if there was a God, how can all this stuff happen? X, Y, and Z. Yep, you have to remember that God is not the God of this world. The enemy is. So when so when someone's lined up with the enemy and doing what he wants them to be done, he's going to reward them. He will reward them. This is your reward. I seem like all the people on this side, the believers, they suffering, they going through it or not, but the evil people making it. That's their reward. That's their kingdom. I didn't say it. I said it.
Hmm.
Verse 11. And many false prophets will appear and will deceive many people. 12. Sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. 13. But the one who endures to the end will be saved. And we always been talking about enduring. Enduring, turning back from our ways, and faith, believing. 14. And the good news about the kingdom of God, the kingdom will be preached throughout the whole world so that all nations will hear it. And then the end will come. Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all think the gospel is then preached all around the world?
I think it is.
Social
Well,
media, social
no.
media, social media.
Yeah, social media, but then like it says all over the world. I would say yeah, social media. Then the people are still sneaking in Bibles to get you teaching, where they can. So
Mhm.
I think it is.
Once the internet came, game changed. Wow, there it goes. Especially in the now, let's say 5 years ago. Oh my God, the game changed. I'm like, I was visioning it as, oh my gosh, look at this. The word is being spread all reaching places people never seen, never even thought of. Whether it be a clip or however it may be, but it's getting out from east to west, all four
Mhm.
corners. You have internet on all four corners of the earth. You got internet up in the heavens. So you mean tell me you don't think it's been spread all around?
Hmm.
It has. 15. The day is coming when you will see what Daniel the prophet spoke about. Scare religious objects that causes desecration standing in the holy place. Read or pay attention. So he's talking about something very, very important on this. Very, very important. 16. Then those in Judea must flee to the hills. Right? Notice why you say the location say Judea must flee into the hills. Where is Judea? Judea, the Middle East, right? Why would they be fleeing to the hills? At what time right now? Why would someone go to a hill setting right now? War going on. Somebody trying to. That's the only time you see people running like that, leaving out of town. War is going on. 17. A person, and this is Christ talking, y'all. A person out on the deck of a roof must not go down into the house to pack. 18. A person out in the field must not return even to get a coat. How terrible it would be for pregnant women and for nursing mothers in those days. 20. And pray that your flight would not be in the winter or on the Sabbath.
Hmm.
The winter or the Sabbath. Pray that my flight won't be in the winter or the Sabbath. You know what that's telling me? That's telling me that during the winter, when I'm doing the cold months, it's going down. That's when we're gonna start seeing rapids over there. So this is what I want y'all to do later on this year, y'all. Y'all looking over there in the wintertime and just start to see how bad it's getting. Start to look up this.
Wait, say that again?
He said, pray that your flight not be in the wintertime, right? So what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, is, okay, he's saying, hey, not in the wintertime. Hmm. So what's going on in the wintertime? Christ, you just said Judea, the people are gonna be fleeing in the mountains. And you talking about the women being pregnant overnight in those days is gonna be bad for them. What's going on in the wintertime? What he's saying is it's gonna be very, very bad in the wintertime. Very, very bad. And he's talking about over there during the end time. And you can start, so from now, when wintertime come over there, start looking over there. Just start looking around and see what the people's going on. What's going on with the people and everything's happening. Judea and Samaria and all them surrounding areas.
Mm-hmm.
And just start looking at what's going on. It's gonna blow your mind. No, and actually, some people been getting that from out of there. So it's gonna be bad, yo. Very, very, very bad. 20. And pray 21. For there will be greater anguish than any at wait, 21. For there will be greater anguish than at any time since the world began. And it will never be so great again. So Christ saying this is gonna be the pivotal point. It's gonna be top notch. Like it's gonna be the tipping point. In fact, unless that time of calamity is shortened, not a single person will survive. But it'll be
Mm.
shortened for the sake of God chosen one. Look at that, y'all. Man, people are gonna be going so crazy and they're gonna be cutting up so bad that God has to shorten it. He has to shorten the time, yo. That's wild. That's wild. 23. Then if anyone tells you, look, here's the Messiah, or there he is, don't believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will rise up against and perform great signs and wonders so as to deceive, if possible, even God's chosen ones. Don't fall for the okie doke.
Hmm.
Don't fall for the okie doke. Do not fall for the okie doke. The okie doke gonna get you choked. But you know, when you see some miracles performing, right? You're gonna believe it. Demons can perform miracles. Satan could do miracles. He could put all that. Didn't he show Christ the world and his glories? He showed it
Mm-hmm.
to him in all the glory.
Mm-hmm.
What you think he can't do no tricks.
Hmm.
25. See, I have warned you about this ahead of time. 26. So if someone tells you, look, the Messiah is out in the desert, don't bother to go and look. Or look, he is hiding here. Don't believe it. Mind you, y'all see how Christ will keep on saying, hey, people saying it's me, people saying it's me, people saying it's me, people saying it's me. No, I ain't coming yet. I'm coming. You are aware that, hey, it's about that time, but not yet. But I'm going to tell you when I'm about to come. 27. For as the lightning flash in the east and it shines to the west, so it will be when the Son of Man comes. What y'all, I mean, quickly. For as the lightning flash in the east and shines to the west, so it will be when the Son of Man comes. 28. Just as the gathering of vultures shows there is a carcass nearby, so these signs indicate the end is near. Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
So Christ is saying, y'all just keep on watching. Y'all sit back, keep on watching, and keep on doing what I tell you to do. Because you're gonna see it. You see the convergence. You see the convergence. How all this stuff is going on, how it's getting crazy and crazy, crazy. Orange Man is bringing it in, yo.
Hmm.
Orange, Orange Man and the gang, yo. Oh my God. They be you, the words they pray for that dude, man. I'd be like, Lord, but these the times we in, yo. It's coming. 29. Immediately after the anguish of those days, the sun will be darkened, the moon will give no light, the stars will fall from the sky. What y'all think it mean on 29 say immediately after the anguish of those days, the sun will be darkened. That's war, y'all. That's bombs going off.
Okay.
Every- Everybody's shooting bombs. You can't see when all the smoke up in there, you're not gonna be able to see from the bombs. Even now, when bombs go off, or when it's really, really cloudy, like in LA sometimes, when they what they call it, the smog and all that stuff, sometimes you can't even see the sun. because everything is up in the air. It's gonna be the same thing. That many bombs and things are gonna be falling and going off. The stars will fall from the sky, and the heavens and the powers in the heavens will be shaken.
Hmm.
You mean to tell me y'all got them type of bombs? Nuclear bombs, y'all. It don't have to be a big, it can be a small. But we notice that it's going to be going down, and all these countries are talking with this posture right now, and they're doing these things. It's mind blowing, y'all. Y'all be like, man, the Bible is amazing. 30. And then at last, the sign that the Son of Man is coming will appear in the heavens, and there will be deep mourning among all the peoples of the earth. And they will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. 31. And he will send out his angels with the mighty blast of a trumpet, and they will gather his chosen ones from all over the world, from the farthest ends of the earth and heaven. Mm-hmm. Harpazo, y'all. Harpazo. Harpazo means rapture, y'all. Caught up. Taken away. Gone. Out of here. Some people, they be like, man, the word rapture ain't in the Bible. I mean, like, well, the word soul tie is not in the Bible either, right? But you know what it is. So we could go to harpazo, and then we could go, and that's a Greek term for it. And then we could go back to a little bit further. 32. Now learn a lesson from the fig tree. When its branches bud and its leaves begin to sprout, you know that summer is near. 33. In the same way, when you see all these things, you can know its return is very near, right at the door. 34. I tell you the truth. This generation will not pass from the sea until all these things take place.
Hmm.
Heaven and earth will disappear, but my words will never disappear. 36. However, this the famous one, y'all. However, no one knows the day or hour when these things will happen. Not even the angels in heaven or the Son himself.
Hmm.
Only the Father. They be like, man, when Jesus coming back? Man, nobody know the day or the hour. All right. So if you don't know the day or the hour, the opposite of that is knowing, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so, and watch this. Watch what Christ says. Watch this. So this how we gonna know when he's coming back. Of course, yeah, you're not gonna know the exact date, like June 28th at 7 p.m. No, no, that's the exact day now. No, you're not. But you're gonna see the signs when he's coming. 37. When the Son of Man returns, it will be like it was in Noah's day. 38. In those days before the flood, the people were enjoying banquets and parties and weddings right up to the time Noah entered his boat. How many times you see people partying not paying attention, y'all?
Hmm.
If y'all tell somebody about the the world and what's going on right now or whatnot, how many people is clueless?
Well, here's a prime example. They say a hurricane coming at home. What we do? Throw a hurricane party.
Yeah, man, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. People do that. People go on ahead, mind their business. I'm just trying to get myself together, handle my business, and this and that, right? He'd be like, damn, not paying attention, not watching. They're not watching. And that's what Christ want us to do. He want us to watch. 39. And we almost finished. I think it stopped at 51. So we got like 10 more verses, 10 or 11 more verses. People didn't realize what was going to happen until the flood came and swept them all away. That is the way it would be when the Son of Man comes. As like you were saying with the hurricane. And people ain't know how serious the storm was until it came and they out of there.
Hmm.
40. Two men would be working together in the field, one would be taken, the other left. Two women would be grinding flour at the mill, one would be taken, the other left. 42. So you two must keep watch. You hear that? Keep watch. Let me say it again. 42. So you two must keep watch. For you don't know what day your Lord is coming. 43. Understand this. If a homeowner knew exactly when a burglar was coming, he would keep watch and not permit his house to be broken into. You ain't let nobody come and kick in your door if you know they coming at 5 o'clock on the morning. You ain't gonna let it ain't happen. It's not happening. You also must be ready. 44. You also must be ready all the time. For the Son of Man will come when least expected. And when he said that, that's like 'cause people are gonna be so busy with life and doing things and not paying attention. Like right now, you tell people about the wars and stuff that's going on in the Middle East, stuff that's going on in Africa. They don't have no idea what's going on. They be like, what? What's going on? Nice. Hey, be watchful, y'all. Pay attention. Pay attention. That's how you gonna know when he's coming, because you see the signs converging. 45. A faithful, sensible servant is one to whom the master can give the responsibility of managing his other household servants and feeding them. 46. If the master returns and finds the servant has done a good job, there will be a good reward. 47. I tell you the truth, the master will put the servant in charge of all he owns. 48. But what if the servant is evil and thinks, my master won't be back for a while? And he begins beating the other servants, partying and getting drunk, right? There you go, y'all. They having a good time, doing everything. The master will return unannounced and unexpected. 51. And he will cut the servants to pieces and assign him to the place with the hypocrites. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's 24, y'all. So the most important thing I got out of 24 was that, hey, watching. Yes, we don't know the day and the hour, right? The actual day and hour, we don't. But if you watch the signs of thing that's converging, we know that, oh, Christ is coming. He's coming. So be watchful. Be watchful. So that's it, y'all. That's it. Man, what's up, brother Mike? Oh, you was on now. Pat, Tony, all y'all.
I'm,
Uh,
I'm excited to get into the parables of the 10 bridesmaids, Terrell. That's
oh
pretty
yeah,
good
that's gonna be
too.
good. It's gonna be good. It's
It's
gonna be fun.
short, but it's good.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Anybody got anything to say? We're going to now. Y'all good? Everybody good?
Hey, Mr. Trail.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, what I get out of this is he's telling us, what it's going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the world is going to be going crazy. And a lot of people we know will be going crazy. But the Lord wants a people who aren't going to be going crazy, who are going to know this is supposed to happen. And so they're not going to be scared.
Mhm.
And they're going to be able to stand up and tell the truth. Stand up and tell people that there's a way through Jesus.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
people
You.
are going to be collapsing. People are going to be just like. Do you remember 9/11?
Uh-huh.
And people were losing it.
Man, it was. They
But
was. They was.
those of us who are grounded in the Word, and the Lord gives us a little heads up. This is coming. So he's trying to prepare us.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's even now, right? When people are going through things and X, Y, and Z, right? Their life may be in shambles, whatever's going on, right? But then you run into someone and then you introduce them to Christ, like, hey man, I read the word, I read God's word. And then they look at you and they be like, how you have so much peace? You feel like, bro, look, my life's not perfect either, but hey, this what gives me peace. And I
Amen.
have an understanding, I have a relationship with him. So you could actually, I'm glad you said that, Pat. You could actually see that now. Even though it's gonna be amplified later, you can see that now. It's like, hey, if I know for myself, if I don't stay grounded in the word, man, I'd be all over the place. So it keeps his word keeps me grounded and planted. So that wouldn't happen. So that's why for I stand. I have to stand it when I, because the peace, the sense of love, the sense of knowing it gives.
Well,
Versus if I
I can, sorry about that, T. I could piggyback off of that because if I don't be in my word every day, when I tell y'all my day don't go right, it's
yeah
gonna be all twisted up. I'm gonna be all across the board. I have to get that word in every day. I just have to.
yeah that's so it's gonna be magnified, I mean that's going on now is who knows. So I mean 10,000, people, you right, people are gonna be going crazy and you're gonna be seeing it. You're like, oh my God, you know.
And you know how chapter 23 begins with hypocrites and
Yeah.
chapter 24 ends with hypocrites.
Mm.
And it's like, to a certain extent, the Lord's going to show who's who, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. 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 Point you out. Point you out.
That's
And
true.
this point is pointing you out, you know.
There's gonna be a
What?
lot of massacres and killing too.
Oh man, so much of that. Oh gosh, it's gonna be rapid.
Yeah,
Like
it's
for
in the
instance,
book.
like for instance, that guy who killed the kids in the street. What that was? Monroe, Shreveport, Louisiana. And he killed his kids, the 8 kids.
was a Shreveport, huh?
Yeah, I believe Shreveport. That's not nothing about
Normal.
that is normal. Nothing about that is normal. Nothing at all. If this is a snippet, like Christ said, hey, you're gonna see wars, rumors of wars, or whatnot, and earthquakes in diverse places. All right, that's just the beginning.
Well, I know y'all heard last week about the man went in a synagogue and killed them children. It was at
I did
school.
say, yeah, yeah, yeah. So we are seeing it. We are seeing it's increasing. It's increasing.
Scary. It's scary because you don't know when a person gonna click. That's why it's so important to stay in the word and
Yeah,
stay covered
yeah,
by the blood of Jesus. Because if we don't, it happens so quick you could easily get caught up in that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Stand locked in. And also the guy, he always protects his own. Like he always will give you, hey, son, daughter, don't, hey, which way to go, how to move things, how to do this and that. Angels, I mean, I'm seeing angels. They will
Mhm.
come and guide you. Hey, do this, do that. So, so yeah. Well, man, if nobody else don't have anything to say, I enjoyed y'all tonight. I miss y'all, enjoyed y'all, and we be here what Monday? What's this? Thursday and Monday. Be back on Monday.
Mhm.
We read 25 and 26. Yeah, and next Thursday we be done with Matthew, yo. Whatever. I'm gonna just say I'm proud. I mean, you know what y'all do too. Y'all see what God wants us to go. I just pray on that. 'Cause I literally I don't be knowing y'all. I really don't. Like he just tell me where to go. I pray on it. He tell me and I go there. So it's not like I be like, oh man, we gonna read this, but no, I don't do that. I'm like, no, I need to trust you, or you want us to go. So that's how I just let him lead me to that. So but we all one body, y'all can pray on it also. We just see where he leads us. Uh, but if no one has anything else to say, I'll lead us out in prayer. And then we could go ahead on the rest of our evening. Our Father, which art in heaven, thank you for this day. Thank you for letting us fellowship amongst with the brother and the sister and chew on your word. Let it minister to our spirits, fall within us, and let's ignite us, elevate us spiritually, Heavenly Father, because we all need it so much. I ask that you continue to protect our family, our friends, our businesses, our physical bodies from all harm and danger, seen and not seen, Heavenly Father. And just continue to have your hands on us, but not us, but also our families, extended families and friends, Heavenly Father. Let us be a light amongst others so they can be drawn to you, Heavenly Father, seeing what you're doing within us. So we could get more people saved, Heavenly Father. Let them know the knowledge of in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 All right, y'all. Well, love y'all. We see y'all on
Love
Monday.
you.
Amen.
We
Love
get it back
you.
on again.
Take
See
care.
y'all Monday. Y'all be safe the
See you
weekend.
Monday.
All right, bye y'all.
All
Bye.
right.
Say
Bye,
have a great
y'all.
weekend.